do it. I know we ain't hearing the words. Lady Z looking at me. She was like, what happened to the song part? It's PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. Every Monday night, every Monday,
Every Tuesday night,
every Wednesday,
every Friday night.
every Friday, Monday, yeah. How about that? I love it. I love it. We just keep it real. This is what we do. We be making things happen, and I just love it. And this people to people with Rodney Grimes. Here I am today, making some moves and doing what we do. Y'all know how we go. It's good to be back in the studio. I was on Motivation Monday. I was over at the studio at the house, and so it's a little different when we there. I have to make things happen, and I just be moving, and you know how I go. I don't have to show no shame to my game because this is a process. I got a hell of a guest in. I'm getting ready to introduce in a few minutes, and I just want to do a shout out to all the supporters of the People to People podcast. I want to tell you that under no circumstances do I want you to feel like we take you for granted, because we don't. We appreciate everything that you do, everything that you bring to the table, and we just want to just say thank you for your support. And so that's what this is all about. When we come to you and say thank you and let you know that the People to People podcast is all about us in the DMV. This is the podcast for the DMV. So I want to welcome my guest, Mr. Eric E. Baby Smith, in the house today. How you doing, sir?
What's up, soldier? What's going on?
Man, it's my pleasure, man, to see you, bro. Man, this is all right. I mean, I'm so excited when I see people that's in the area doing things and they working to make things work. So tell me, what do you do?
I'm a poet. I'm turned poetry into a part-time job. I mean, my full-time job is I work at the Library of Congress in the Copyright Office, helping people protect their work. But then poetry came into my life, so that's what we're here to talk about today.
Well, man, I mean, I'm really, really intrigued with that, and that's just what we do. And you know what, Lady Z, I don't have no cut cards. If we having any problems, everything good? Okay, can I make an adjustment on the camera a little bit? Huh? Because, hey, I keep it real. That's what we do. So, give me back camera 3 real quick. I want to make sure this brother's seen properly.
Okay.
There you go. That's it. Okay, that's all right. Sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do.
Because we adjusted the chair afterwards with that one. That's what it was. I was centered at first.
That's right.
Remember, we set it for that one, so we didn't go back. So that's how we do. Oh, I keep it real too. No need to edit.
Yeah. Come on, man. This is what we do. This is what we do. We come real.
Some shows is best when you keep it like the living room. Don't make it like a show. We're in your living room right now.
Yeah, we living room.
Yeah.
So you do the poetry thing. How did you get into poetry?
Well, poetry got into me as a child. I used to write as a kid, and like most poets start, so that part isn't anything new. But I didn't like people to read my poetry. Mom used to try to get people to read it, and she would trick me. What she did was, back in the day, there used to be a thing called what camera am I? This one right here?
Yeah.
Back in the day, there's a thing called you'll see them every once in a while when you walk around. See, it's a mailbox. It's a blue thing, and you would put letters in there. So she would give me a stamp and letters, and an envelope addressed to her. And this was like 2nd or 3rd grade, and I would just mail them to her, and not knowing they would get there, and she would read them and keep them. And to me, I thought she was only keeping them for herself, but she said she used to read them to people. But what made it professionally was one night, kicking it with the fellas, WPGC 95.5 back in the day had the Poetry Love Talking after the slow jams on Thursday nights, and they were jamming with the music. I'm sitting there. I didn't want to get up and change the channel, and poetry came on, and the brother Twisting Words, I always give him his props. Twisting Words was the first poet I heard, and it just sparked it in me, and I just kept listening for that 1 hour. And after that, my pen just woke up again, and still been writing. So yeah, WPGC woke it up.
A lot of people don't even realize that what happens when poets. Poets are ones who express themselves. Tube, poets they express themselves, right? And and I'm a poet at heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I a lot of times I'm not one of those people. I don't want to be like every time somebody say they can do something, I say I can do it. But I'm a poet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a romantic guy. I operate off my emotions and my feelings, and I can put them in words. So with that said, a lot of times when I was doing artist development with different artists who are rappers, I tell them all you are is a poet.
Mm-hmm.
You just put the flavor to some music, and then you do it to your craft. So when you do your poetry,
Mm-hmm.
are you expressing what you see or what you feel, or both?
Oh, it's definitely both. It's definitely both. My poems are basically written on life. I don't write about myself. A lot of people talk about their things that they're going through. I keep that off the paper. That's me and between myself and God. And He understands that the gift He's given me is to write for others.
Okay.
So I really, pay attention to life, pay attention to things, pay attention to what I've experienced, and write from there. And it's true feelings in it, because as a poet, if I'm going to write for someone, I have to give the poem the respect that I want the people to think I am that person.
Right.
That I have experienced that, or and really given its due respect.
Okay. I don't know. My director over there, she just said that it wasn't showing on there.
On Facebook.
Is it on LinkedIn or?
Get ready to find out.
Yeah. Y'all bear with us, cause as you know, technology, man, they be switching up on you and doing different things, and so it should be definitely recording live on all those. But I know that I saw something up there where they was making some adjustments. Just find out or go to YouTube and see if it's live.
Yeah.
So
Just keep-
while we doing that, y'all just bear with us. We'll continue with the interview, because sometimes we be just having a discussion in here about some of the things that take place, man, and things happen. And okay, we rolling on YouTube, right? Okay, continue. We gonna roll with that. So I'm just really excited that we have this podcast for the DMV. There's an opportunity for us to open doors for people to come out. Don't have to fear about getting any backfeed, on sharing their information, on their styles, or everything they do.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've been in the radio world, you understand that that's been an issue for some of the people here in the DMV to get that exposure.
I mean, as far as the radio exposure,
Yeah.
that was something that they don't do it anymore. There aren't any poetry shows going on. Not only were they doing it, WHUR would do it 12 o'clock at night. I believe those were Wednesdays, either Tuesday or Wednesdays. And those were just shows that aren't doing anymore. The late brother Joe Gorham was running those programs, and we would be right there in the HUR studio, and people would come out and watch us perform, and those were awesome times. And then he moved it to the global, so WHUR Global. We would then go in and do their podcast. I'm not sure if that's still going on since he's passed. I'm not sure if anyone has picked it up, but yes, the opportunity is just for the stations to see that poetry is still worth being put out there.
Yeah.
We are an entertainment. We can entertain a crowd. I am with Orville the Poet, and we just did our 11th year anniversary at Karma Club in DC. Close to 600 people, and it's the 11th anniversary, and just been going and going and going. So, Is poetry is lucrative? That's the word I want to use.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a poet. I'll just start throw any word
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there and say, oh, I blend it in. But yeah, and there's a market for it, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to show it. Not that the radio stations don't believe that it's not there. They just haven't put a time slot to make it happen. That's all.
Well, again, what I believe is that we collectively come together because we have a lot of talent here,
Yeah. Definitely.
and it's important that we try to get it exposed and give people opportunity
Mhm.
to be able to come out.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I do with Busboys and Poets. I use that platform. I've given a lot of brand new artists a chance to feature and even hit the stage since I'm there. So yeah, the platforms are there. It's just in many different ways that as poets we have to let the information know that it's out there, and also as poets they have to do the groundwork to get out there and know where it's at.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
I think poetry is like making a comeback on a different level because poetry hasn't really went anywhere. But when I say taking a comeback, I think it's taking a step forward of many for entertainment because people are not really into like back in some years ago, clubbing and partying that was a real thing, right?
Mhm.
You get dressed up, go out, get your drink on, have a good
Club,
time, right?
right.
But now people want that kind of that mellow type situation, comfort, something that's easy for the mind and the soul. And I deal with a different poets. I don't know if you are familiar with this young lady named Steph Marie.
Oh yes, definitely Marie and I are very close.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I just she's been on the program several times.
Okay.
I've worked with her, got some things, some projects in the mix. Um, Very talented, and some of the individuals that she brought on the program to share some of the poetry. Man, I was blown away, man. It was
Yeah.
like it's amazing. So I get excited because I like poetry.
Okay.
When I had the opportunity to be around a poet or a person that pushes and show that talent, I get excited about that.
That's good.
Yeah. So you've been doing this pretty much all your life then?
Shoot, I wish I could say I was 20-something years old, but nah, I say professionally, 98. So yeah, I'm on my 25th year. So I'm my 25th year anniversary of saying professionally.
Yeah.
I hooked up with a gentleman, Tracy Wiggs, Just Wiggin Entertainment, at VCU. I was invited out there to do an open mic, not an open mic, but to feature some of my work from another poet who knew me here in the DC area. And he saw me, he put the show on and said, hey man, there's a way that you can make money in this. And he's normally comedians. Everything that he does was comedians, from Bill Bellamy, everyone. And I just don't feel like going through the names
Right.
of it. So me being his first poet, we went to, it's a chance for artists to get out there to colleges and universities. It's called NACA, N-A-C-A, NACA.org, and APCA, A-P-C-A, .net. If I'm making a mistake, I know it's N-A-C-A, NACA, and A-P-C-A, National Activities and Campus Association. And the other one is APCA, Association for Performance and Campus Activities. That's going to be a whole new show. We'll talk about that another time. But look into it and get back to me on DMs. I'll give you my information. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, he took a chance on me. And that's why I was traveling to colleges and universities within like my first 2 years of getting into this game. And when I say it was lucrative, me coming back and saying, hey y'all, I'm making $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 just for 1 hour. And that's just doing my own work. I just had to make sure I was a show. Put on an excellent show and be, entertaining for an hour.
Yeah.
But you're really gambling. You're going to perform in front of all these colleges and universities with all these other artists here, and they're coming with their money. Schools and colleges have a budget for performing. Your job is to get that money. Your job is to show them that you can perform there, whatever you have to do. And there's a brother by the name of Backpack Jeff. He's excellent in that game. Talk to him. But though. So hooking up with Just Wiggins, that's when things really blew up for me.
So do we have a real opportunity for the poetry to be noticed, like Go Go is for the DC area? Do we have that actually moving in the direction to get that kind of recognition?
To
The
be
same
honest with you, the other way around. Does go-go have it to be the recognition of poetry? Poetry is up there. Poetry is out there. Poetry, it helped keep Instagram alive when the pandemic hit. There was nothing but poetry shows. Even before the artists came on there, before verses came on there, we would put on poetry shows with busboys and poets. We did shows Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and other poets across the countries and venues. They were doing shows. So yeah, East Coast. Each time zone something was going on. I was with busboys. We would be on schedule from 8 to 10. Bruh, I was on there from 8 until 4 in the morning because I wanted to. I knew just to keep the poetry going.
Yeah.
I'm meeting other poets. Now people in the UK are waking up. I'm meeting those poets. People, poets from Africa. You know, they knew or seen the busboys thing because the word is out and it's still going. Bruh, I respectful to go-go. I'm a go-go head. Bop, bop, boom, boom. Don't get me wrong, go-go in DC, but really,
Yeah.
it's the other way around. Go-go is trying to catch up to poetry because poetry was kicking it before doing the butt, before Spike Lee saw it,
Yeah.
and we still going.
Okay. That I mean that's amazing. So do you have something that you can share with us?
If you want to, of
I
course.
mean,
All
I like to hear you do something. You know?
All right. I speak to the woman whose heart is stuck in a state of love's loneliness. You see, she feels that out here there's no such thing as a good man. Feeling the unfair ratio of city statistics, 6 to 1, the woman outnumbers the man. She hates to be alone, so she's content with half of a man instead of having no man, even if it's another woman's man. She thinks they're supposed to be breaking up. She'll stick by the side of the sign language speaking man who communicates with his fist and his backhand, and she ain't deaf. Hoping that one day God will sprinkle magic dust to open the eyes of her man. Now noticing that he's sprinkling magic dust to open your eyes before your man closes them again. Hoping that an angel will whisper some sense into your man while he sleeps. Now noticing that you are asleep to the whispers the angels bless you with called signs. Your back is sore from bending over, being on your knees, constantly picking up your self-esteem. Your back is sore from leaning over, crying in your palms, lifeline filled with tear streams. Your back is sore from searching around, trying to find the pieces to once golden, now broken dreams. Thinking that no one will hear if you scream for help. Body bruised with verbal abuse, mental disputes, and marks like birthmarks left from the whelps. You're afraid of being alone. No. You forgot how to be alone. That it's okay to be alone. You used to be happier when you were alone. You said at times at night love making was better when you were alone. His love is made of a glass house. Forget him. Throw stones. Remember, you used to think like a man, call over quickie, then quickly send his butt home. When a man was talking nonsense over the phone, you would immediately give him the tone. You have to redevelop that backbone, or things will forever stay this way. Trying to pull the wool over your family's eyes about the frowns you display. Able to talk a good game to your friends about how everything is going okay, and yet he's changing the rules day by day. In front of your friends, are able to speak with a straight face and smile with style and grace. Sun shines outside, but inside you live in a dark place, living life on a roller coaster. Love ride up and down hills. Only your pillow you have to embrace. Laying there, thinking of the times when the tears wouldn't stop flowing. Times when you didn't know if you were coming or going. Times when his anger was released, he blamed it on drinking or smoking. Times when you were a long season in the summer times when the bruises won't be showing. Times when I'm sorry he tossed your way sounds like bull stuff he's throwing. Times when he just looked and knocked the breath out of you, leaving you choking. Times just hoping. Times when it came to sex, he didn't care that your mind was closed as long as your legs were open. Times still hoping. Times when you thought of him dead in the river floating. It felt good. Or maybe when he sleep, bust him in the head with a 2x4 piece of wood, or maybe shoot him with his own gun, leaving him where he stood. Knowing the murder flowed through her veins, she'd kill him if she could, because she's tired of being disrespected in front of total strangers. How can a woman feel safe in the world when at home she's living in danger? Sleeping with one eye open because she's side by side with a man with unprovoked anger. I preached this poem to help change her, to rest here in my heart's manger, so you can see that the true relationship is between you and your Savior. To the woman whose heart is stuck in a state of love's loneliness, I speak to you. Peace.
Yeah.
That was deep. So let me ask you this, because one of my biggest problems is I write my poetry, I can't never remember it.
But you can sing somebody else's song, right?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's what I get a lot of poets. I tell a lot of poets, and that's all we have phones. We have the phone, and there's a record. record yourself. Put your ear pods in, your headphones on, and listen to yourself over and over, just like the radio does you.
Yes.
You put your money into your favorite artist. You'll buy tickets. You put the time. They're getting the streams. You clicking stuff and watching the videos. Then you want to go on stage and read, and not make eye contact with the audience. And yeah, there's some hot lines in there. But if I give it to you like this, I can see the crowd. I can pause when I can pause. Perfect timing. The crowd gets the energy. I tell poets, this is one thing poets say. Yeah, you give me that energy and I'll be able to give it back. Your job is to give the energy so the crowd can throw it back, and then you'll give it back harder.
Oh, man.
It's not up to the crowd. You got to be professional with it. You have to, and I tell them when they come and feature, I say, look, you got to give me. If there's 4 poems, you got to give me at least 2 memorized. And one you can say, yo, this is a new piece, and crowd go for that. Okay, a new one, new. That's the thing. I did new. We ain't gonna finish the word, but we have fun with that, and you do it that way. But bruh, you don't want to be reading the phone the whole time, because when you talk and make contact with this person right here, that person felt it. That person felt it. This person felt it. Eyes closed, you're reading it. They respected your professionalism that you're giving them. So I say it in a way where you can read and do a whole feature set like that, but you're not gonna give it off in the way you see poets that they really do, and they wonder how was it, and what do you think? And I say, put yourself in someone that you look up to. What was the difference? Yes, Maya Angelou, she used to go walk anywhere. Sonia Sanchez, they can walk in anywhere and read from the new stuff, but they're at that status, and they even do this stuff that they memorize. Got to connect with the audience. Other than that, you're not connecting with the audience, you're connecting with your phone.
I like that, and that just shows that you are professional, because when I just asked you that, you gave us understanding. It's almost like, okay, if you want us to take you serious, this is what you need to do.
This is what you need to do. Other than that, it's you just featured and did your thing.
And not only that, you're just another person on stage revealing words. But as I was watching you as you was going and you was getting into it, and I can only imagine what it's like when you are on the stage and you're getting that energy from them. Your words become a little more powerful. You can get your pause, you get your rhythm. You
That's
get
it.
that from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell, I when I do speaking in large engagements, and I find one person that I tune into,
Mm-hmm.
right? I lock into that person. That person then locks back. So now we transferring,
Yeah.
right? And people will pick that up. They could see that you just locked in, and then the next person to lock in, even if it's even on that person, or now you got that triangle, and it just start to spread.
Bruh, Luther Vandross sang to one woman and the whole auditorium screamed.
Yeah.
Come on
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
He's singing to me too.
Yeah.
Ah, 'cause that's my song. Come on now.
That's right. That's right.
Prince talked to one person. Michael talked to one person. Come on, man. Oh yeah, bro. Janet, she could bring a dude up on stage. That's me on stage right there. That's me, Janet.
And
So,
he 100 a football
a
field.
football field away, but bro, yeah, you interact with one, you end up interacting with all, because that's what they came for. They came for that energy. And just as you saw, when it comes to doing it right now, yes, I want the audience to see me as memorized, because as I'm doing it right now, I can still feel an audience in the room. I make it to feel like an audience. You two were like 50 people to me right now.
Yeah.
So that's
That's how it is. Even when I do the podcasting, I take it to a level as if I'm talking to the whole world.
got to.
Yeah. And it's a good feeling. But what I'm just really happy. I know so many poets that are very, very talented, and I just don't think that they take it serious enough to understand. This is not easy.
Oh no, it's not easy. It's not cheap, and it's not, again, lucrative. I mean, featuring $150, and some poets. And that's a part of the game where I would talk to poets and say, before you quit that 9 to 5, just because your family's telling you, yo, you're good, you need to get out there, or your very close friends are telling you, yo, you need to go, yeah, you better quit your job and do it. So a lot of poets go back and get a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It's hard. you expect to be a feature every night, Monday through Saturday, with just Sunday off. Just try to give yourself a break. That means you got to travel, you got to do this and that. What, make $100 a night just to get 700, and you look, that's just 20. I mean, come on, bro, it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So I tell them, you turn it into your part-time job. All that extra time that you have, that's what you do for yourself.
Well, it's also what you got to do is develop that craft.
Mhm.
So when people see you, you know, that's one of the things that I liked about Steph Marie. She has a craft with her when she performs. I always tease her. I call her the queen.
Okay.
I call her
Okay.
the queen of poetry.
Okay.
She told me,
Okay.
she say, don't do that. I say, you can't tell me what I feel.
Hey, exactly.
I say
feel you,
that
right.
when she delivers,
Mhm.
I feel that, you know, and so but it's many. I know it's a lot of good poets out there.
Right. Oh no, we all have our favorites. We all
Yeah.
have ones that touch us. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's no competition. No,
Yeah,
no.
but I just get excited about it because the expression of words is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking, the gentleman that was here prior to you coming in. The power of words. The power of words is phenomenal.
No, of course. Yeah, the tongue is a dangerous instrument.
And
Dangerous
people don't
instrument.
understand that you could put a poem into 3 words, but it'd be a deliverance.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
people would look at him as like, ah, man, that was deep. And all you said, and then there was love.
Mhm.
You know, and you looking at that girl and she be like, yo, man, he talking to me. But right, all the girls in there,
There you go. There you go.
that was meant for them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's an amazing thing, man.
Yeah.
So how far have you traveled doing the poetry?
Across the country. From here, touched Hawaii. Did some. I was in Hawaii, and that was by accident. I really just went for vacation and met a poet, and they had an event, and they actually talked me into featuring there. So I say from here to Hawaii, but just being recognized is kind of neat. That's the best thing. That's the best thing. But it's been through colleges and universities, and then while I'm there, I'll reach out to open mics events and say, hey, I'm in town, and send them my press kit, because just because you're good in your city doesn't mean they know you out there.
Yeah.
So for all you poets out there, a press kit. Baby, what's a press kit? A press kit is a bio, about 150 words, and you want to make sure you have things in there like where you performed some of your feature spots within that bio, how you started, and any events you've been on, and any accolades and awards. Along with that, 2 professional pictures, not off the phone. I don't want no cell phone pictures. Your friend, you out and you over here, you took it, this is a good one. Nah, invest in yourself. Professional pictures, 2 types, inside, outside, whatever, because that's what you send for flyers that they can use. Maybe get 3 different types. The last thing, videos. YouTube videos of your poems, not just a poem in the house, not just a poem on the side of the road. I'm talking about when you went to a venue and you rocked it, you ripped it. You got the crowd response. They got you up there. The person pans back to the crowd. It may be with the phone, but if you get a video, that's cool. But other than that, you get a quality video of a poem, and pick ones. Go out and purposely do that. That's your press kit. Pictures, your bio, and 2 poems, 2, 3 if you want to. Send it out to venues. I'll be coming in town. Do you have a feature spot? They may say no, but we'll give you some extra time on the mic. Very important. So yes, when you travel or you out there looking to do stuff, and that's what's going on right now. So many venues have opened back up because we outside, y'all. Yeah. Put that together.
That's deep, man. I tell you, again, like, it's exciting to see the poetry world still surviving. That's been one of my wife's long one of her goals was to open up a poetry house.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to have it that people can come in and just relax after work and sit down and listen to some good poetry. So that's when we really settle down and don't want to do nothing else that we gonna do. We can't tell everybody our plans because we got something we were just discussing the other day, man. It's gonna be off the chain.
That'll work.
You know.
That'll work.
And
That'll work.
yeah. So again, the poetry, you said, is holding its own.
Oh yeah.
So, have you written a book?
Oh yes, I have a book of haiku. For those who know what haiku writing, those are short Japanese poems, and within that short period of time, 17 syllables. So the first line is 5 syllables, the next line is 7 syllables, and the third line is 5 syllables. It has to be written that way, 575. And you throw a little short meaning in there, real quick. Haiku. Some women clip their own wings to stay with a man who's afraid to fly. Just in case you were counting. Some women clip their own wings to stay with a man who's afraid to fly. 575. Haiku. Once you sync your clock with God's, you'll know why they say he's always on time. I'll give you one more. Trying to do the ones that are TV friendly for adults, but not too adulty. Let's see. Haiku. No, not that. Haiku. A side piece is an inmate waiting patiently for visitations. Haiku. So you throw little messages in there, things like that, and I just have fun, love writing stuff like that.
And so
But I have 2 CDs. I do have 2 CDs. One is called My Thoughts Are in This Ink, and the other one is called Ink Toxicated.
I'm hearing you that that's what you just opened up another platform for me to understand. Because here you talk about a book, you talk about CDs, you talk about videos. The poetry world is amazing. It's an opportunity for, it's like a whole new arena of entertainment. Not new,
Right,
but
right.
meaning, it's something that's, people can really do. You can dress up, you can come dressed, or you can come dressed down.
Yeah.
You can come as you are.
The 11th year anniversary was an all white event, and people came in all white. It was awesome. And at Pure Poetry, and you talk about the club scene too. So it's at a club, so we have poetry going on, and we'll do like a 15-minute break. The DJ gets to playing, and the ladies get to singing. We have a lot of fun. There's hookah there for those who do hookah. Rush is outside with the catering, Jamaican food, excellent cuisine. But it's poetry, but we also have party with it. People come for that atmosphere, but they know they're gonna be entertained. And Orville and I, excellent tag team when it comes to hosting. He started doing it, like I say, 11 years, and just showing him and mentoring him, and then just sit back watching him and just taking his own vehicle and run with it. I was honored for him to say, "Hey man, I want you to come on to add E-Baby to what we got going on here." So it's definitely out here, bro. You have Nerd the Poet, an artist who's teamed up with Steph Marie. They have many events going on in the city that they're, days of the week. So it's out here, bro. It's out here, and even just across the country, you just gotta hook up with the poet, talk to a poet, and say, "Hey, what's happening? What's going on?"
Yeah, that was something that I said I was going to make sure that this summer I was going to start coming out and doing on-site interviews at
Mhm.
poetry spots.
There
Come
you
out,
go.
and just come out and enjoy that atmosphere,
Mhm.
and let people have that aroma.
I like that. I was thinking outlet, but you said aroma. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that added flavor to it.
They got it where
Aroma.
they can wear it and taste it and feel it.
I got you.
And that's just what it's all about.
True that.
Again, we hear this is People to People with Rodney Grimes. My guest today is Mr. Eric E. Baby Smith, and that is like here we are right here doing this, and it's always a pleasure for us to bring the hometown people in and have interviews.
Yeah.
So do you have anybody that you're mentoring right now?
The DMV.
Okay.
Yeah. Steph Marie and I, that sister, has called me many nights. So to hear you say that you look up to her in that way, that made me feel good inside because I helped her with that. I gave her a feature at Busboys right after the pandemic. We met through IG. The people that she brought in here, I saw that show and I watched it with those poets, and I'm like, those are poets that I've talked to. So I mentored. I'd say the DMV, bro. Yeah.
Like I said, now again, I just think that after listening to him, "Baby in the Dark,"
Doll After Dark.
Dog After Dark.
Yeah. Don't edit that out either. We keeping that in. Baby in the Dark. I'm gonna call you that when I see you. And you gonna wonder why. I'm gonna say, watch this show.
Yeah.
Doll After Dark.
Dog
Yeah.
After Dark.
Man.
Man, I was impressed with her as well.
Yeah.
I loved her flavor. I liked her. She was spontaneous, but she was real.
Yeah.
And so some people might didn't understand when I said that she was real. She was ladylike, but she was telling the truth.
Okay. Oh, she does that on both sides of it too.
Yeah.
She said, "I give you sensual,
Right.
I'm gonna be a lady in the sheets or freaking under the sheets,
yeah.
lady in the street, freaking the sheets, whatever it is, and she gives it to you straight up."
And the deliverance is not of it's almost of man. I can relate to that because it's a deliverance of truth. That's what I got from listening to some of her work.
Yeah. You can tell when someone speaks through experience and when someone is kind of talking, for self, or for someone else. Let me say. So yeah, she speaks with a lot of experience and puts depth in it to let you know that, it may feel good, but it still hurts.
Yeah.
That's the truth that I get out of it.
So let me ask you this: when do you think that in order to have a title as a poet that you have to have that experience, or could it just be somebody who just like writing?
What do you mean a title?
Okay, so me personally, I consider you a professional.
Okay.
But I know some individuals who they do good, But would they be able to really be able to claim that title as a poet if they're not getting out there and exposing it to the world?
Oh yeah. You don't have to be on the mic to not be a poet. People write in their own homes. You just don't share it.
Right.
People say I write poetry. There are poets who come just to experience the night, and but you never knew they were poets. I'm a fan of poetry. So you don't have to be on the mic for it. You don't have to be on. Now they try to say what's the difference between like poetry and like spoken word. That's where I throw back the memorization part. To me, that's spoken word. That's where I'm speaking these words to the audience in a way where it gives a performance to it. The eye-to-eye contact and things like that. And other than that, to me, again, if you these just my opinions, but if you're just reading from the poem from the phone, you're a poet, because you just whatever. But just
so what you're saying is the title spoken word is when you're an artist up there and you giving up your flavor and it's coming from in here and it's
When you can still give it from that with the phone, but you're not connecting with the audience.
Right.
I'm a poet. And I read my poems and stuff. But to me, when you switch up, when you start to memorize, and you start to give it life, a lot more life than just like I say, just reading. That to me, that's spoken word. That's just my opinion. And there's a lot of different people who have different opinions on it, and I agree with those too. So yeah, that's just me.
I'm one of those guys. Like my wife would tell you, sometimes I catch her off guard. We just be relaxing, and I'll just start talking to her and reciting some poetry, about our relationship or something that was on my mind.
Okay.
And she'll look at me and say, "You should have been recording that. You should have wrote that down." But I'm a man to like to express myself.
Okay.
So I can do that, and do it with rhythm. I can do it with, the passion of words. I always tell when I was doing artist development, I tell rappers, I say you're a poet for real. So when you're delivering your skills to the public, do it so that they can feel and they can see that you mean what you say, and that you're not fabricating things, because we got a lot of rappers, man, be talk about robbing and killing and stealing,
Right.
and they ain't did nothing.
Right, they're doing it for the money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, but
You
they,
can't see a rapper up there rapping off his book,
yeah,
rapping with his phone with a piece of paper, gonna turn the page.
Yeah.
Nah, it's the same thing. You wouldn't want to see that.
right.
You know, oh yeah, he raps. But
Right.
yo, he be rapping, you know, cause he. Oh yeah, so yeah, that's even a big difference. So yeah, that's why I tell poets, you don't want to see a rapper.
Yeah, I think it's only one rapper that can do that, and that's Lil Wayne.
Popularity, yeah, but they talk about it though. He wouldn't put himself in that situation. I ain't gonna go up there with a book. Now he may say, I got some new stuff, y'all. I just wrote it, and the crowd would go crazy. But he wouldn't put a show on like that. That's what
No,
I'm saying.
no, no.
Yeah.
Because
But
you
yeah,
know,
do.
you know what I saw him doing, and I saw him in. I don't know if it was like something he did that. He was like, man, I just did this right, and here, open up the phone and then kind of like, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell poets, it's cool. You can do one, do one that you just wrote, or one that I want to try this out. That's cool within your feature. People want that. Oh, you trying some new stuff here that we haven't heard, that nobody else has heard yet. And that's part of showmanship. That's part of the whole thing that little secrets to make your feature look better than
If I ever take on to the point where I can actually say to people, I'm going to put some of my stuff out. I'm glad you said some of the things you said, and that is one, I'm going to make sure that I can recite my poetry without having to read it, and especially if it's something that I really want people to absorb, and to take it serious, as like you said, baby, you know how many songs that you can sing that somebody else wrote and you know it word for word,
and your poems have been out for how long?
and you can't,
You don't know your own stuff. Yeah. But that's the work you got to put into it. You're not realizing maybe how many times you heard that song. You're going to now realize how many times it's going to take you to remember your own thing. And I'll tell people the best time to practice is in the shower. That's without it. Best time to practice without the shower. So you did, go through a day with boom, and you get in the shower, you doing your stuff, start to recite your poem. Where if you get stuck, okay, cool. All right, I know I'm stuck at that part. Let me just keep on going. What's next? And just keep trying, and then go back and get tired of hearing it. Just like you do a regular song. You get tired of hearing it. Get tired of hearing it, but wait till you start speaking it. It's brand new again.
And especially when you speak it in front of an audience. I was listening to an interview with Steve Harvey, and he was talking about when he was doing his comedy, and he said, a couple of times, the crowd wasn't feeling it, but that's something he had to work on.
Yeah.
And so here again, we got poets out there. That's what they got to do. They got to work on their skills of deliverance.
That, and another thing is when it comes to even comedians, it's the same thing with poetry. Not every poetry spot is the same. I can Tuesday night be in Philly, rip a crowd, sell out all books. The next night in Philly at a different venue with the same 4 poems, not get the same response. All venues are not the same, and it's not always your set. It's up to you to look back and say, okay, I gotta take this poem, I'll do this and do that. A lot of times as a professional poet and you're going out featuring, you want to have enough in your arsenal to where you read the room and realize, okay, hold up, the room is this vibe. I got a poem for that, so I'm gonna take that out and put this poem in there. So you don't just stick with said set. You have to read the room beforehand. That's why you want to get to a venue early. Don't be that feature, just get there. What time I go on? About 9:30, and it started at 8, but you want to get there like 9:15. Fashionable. No, get there, read the room. Sometimes you might have to change your setup and you'll do a lot better. But I go back to say, along with that, you don't have to always change your set. Don't take each one personal. I've had that. I went out of town and been invited out and still got paid, but they just weren't feeling. Some people are just hometown poets only.
I call them neighborhood celebrities.
Yeah, but and they are hot, they are good, and you even as that poet come from out of town, they do their homework, and those poets bring their A game. You can make poets bring their A game just by being that feature and going. So when you walk in, that's why I say you bring the room, you bring your double A game. When they like, oh my goodness, he still ripped it. That's what you gotta do. It's a lot of work into it. So yeah.
I have a niece that I listen to her poetry. She is phenomenal, but she just don't take it serious with me.
You can't force it. You can't put some. It's just they rather they're not on the reading. They're not on that part. They're excellent writers, and then they maybe just best to put it in a book. and let their book do the work.
I would
for 'em.
love for her to do that. When I tell you some of this stuff, she's been through a lot, and some of her poetry that she shared. I do showcases, artist showcasing,
Mhm.
and she was performing at one of them, man, and it was just amazing, to see her on stage and how
Cool.
she delivered it. And but yet, to me, I think that she could make millions,
Mhm.
but she don't really get into it like that.
And again, that's one thing where, as I said earlier, family can tell her you can make millions, and you're putting it in there, but not. She knows how hard it is out here. She might already know, like, nah, I'm not, no, not yet. Oh no, do this, quit your job. No, oh, excellent work. Is some other poets out here, and even I've been put on accolades, but I still give props to those poets before me, and they're still out here. Brother Just Me, he's got me into the haiku writing game. He's my sensei in it. People like love my haiku writing. So it's where she knows, and that could be it. And maybe she feels I'm not ready, or that's just not the lane I want. But money is not the right thing to tell. It's the wrong thing to tell a poet. It's false. It's false information because it's hard out here. As I said, you'd be lucky to get a feature every night.
Yeah.
Not that many venues out here.
Right.
And then I tell poets, it's another thing. Be your own manager. Be your own agent. If you can book a trip to Florida, what'd you just do? You went, you got the airline, you bought your own ticket. You might need to rent a car and a hotel. A manager does that. Agents do that. So save that 20%. Be your own one. Do the work. Now it's cool to find someone if you're not that talented in the talking. You can find a manager that can go out and find people. Other than that, save that 20%. Save that 20%. And that's another talk that when we come back we'll go into that type of stuff too, as far as like the financial and money parts of poetry. But yeah, it's difficult. And
So I just want the audience to know, and this is something that I'm thinking about doing down the line. I really probably want to go into a hiatus because, you got to be prepared and everything.
facts.
So here we are with the People to People podcast. We claiming to be the podcast of the DMV, and that's what we putting out in the atmosphere, right? But what I would like to do is to have it where we have hometown poets like yourself, you maybe come in and do a set, and then y'all just sit down and have a conversation talking about what y'all do in your environment, so that we can really get the understanding of y'all entertainment for us, like music artists do, you know. And so in the DMV, we want to make sure that we let people know we have people of all skills, all talents here, and we want this platform to be like one of the stepping stones for it.
Yeah.
So what I would like to do is, again, I'm putting this out there. We looking for hosts. We looking for people to come in and do production. We looking for people to come in with your skills. If you're a rapper, artist, or whatever, come on, let's get this thing popping. I got some people that's paying a lot of attention to what's happening here in this location. Here, E-Baby, this is actually my first opportunity to meet you personally, which is an honor.
Appreciate it.
I would ask that you have my number. Also, keep me informed when you're performing, because I think that it would be a real honor for me to come out and see you raw,
Cool.
and to be able to come out and show you some love and support, and just being the artist that, I know you.
No problem, bro. Yeah. For people, if I host at Bus Boys and Poets. I've been with them for 13 years. I started at their Virginia location, and then when they opened up at Hyattsville, like I said, I've been there from the very beginning with the talented artist Rashada Punjira and her husband since they've opened, and when Columbia started. So I'm at the Columbia location every third Thursday of the month. The Hyattsville location every fourth Thursday of the month. And with Pure Poetry Live, look us up on Instagram. Be a part of the community, because the Karma spot that I spoke of, where we're a good 500, 600 people. Come on out, Pure Poetry Live, Over the Poet, and it's a time to have. And if you don't believe me, just like I say, hit Instagram and you'll see the last movie that we put out for what's going on. So, and if you can't find me there, just look up ebabypoems.com. That's exactly where you got me as far as books, CDs, and where I put my dates up. But yeah, bro, I got you. I got you. I'll let you know what's going on. So yeah, that's the hosting part. The features, they're starting to come back. I'm starting to get back into the featuring, and getting back on the mic. I kind of paused doing that. You know, hosting became a game, and mentoring became a big game because I realized that I had to do, I had to give back in order to move forward, and understanding this gift that was given, that if I don't do what I'm supposed to be doing, it's going to be taken away. So writing had to stop for a minute, performing had to stop, and it was just about putting it out there. And even on IG, I was doing a show for kids. That became a lot of fun. So I'm back to writing, back to featuring, and those dates are starting to pop up. Yeah.
And shout out to a very very good friend of mine, Demetria. Am I saying her name properly?
Demetria.
She is doing a poetry session every Monday. You can go to the Good Fight, look up her name on Facebook, and get all the information. She's starting to do like a setting on Mondays. I'm gonna get a little more information so we can promote that. We would like to make sure that you will come back out and sit down with. I would love to be able to get you back here and have Steph Marie to sit here with you. So I'm like,
Oh yeah, we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. I know that sister very well.
Yeah, we got some other things down the line. So now that I know you, I can call you and say, Eric, yo, bruh, this is what we got planned.
Mhm.
Would you be a part of it? And we can just kind of like really be able to let people know, man, we got some talented people here, man, doing what they do. So come on, give us one more.
Ah, 2 and 1. The most beautiful thing in the world is not a freshly cut scented rose. It's not a sunny day, blue skies with scattered white clouds, nor is it any piece of art by Da Vinci, Michelangelo, or Picasso. The most beautiful thing is the glow of a woman who has life inside of her life. The most beautiful thing is the shape of a woman who carries the product of her own creation. The most beautiful thing is the mere fact that she is now 2 and 1, turning 2 into 3. The most beautiful thing in the world is pregnancy. 2 and 1. Now, her attitude might change at the snap of a finger, from laughing about something to crying about nothing to mad about everything and jumping on your every word. And sex might be put on hold for a minute, but you have to understand those nights when she doesn't feel like it to control those manly nerves. Her taste buds might crave a specific flavor at that specific time to calm her monthly appetite urge. And she's always a topic of attention wherever she goes. For she carries around her own nest for 270 days, protective like a mother bird. 2 and 1. And as a man, we must understand the mental, chemical, and physical imbalances that plague her. Spoil her and give her respect. For she is the one who protects that which you helped create. Massage her stress, lower back, relax her muscles to help her stand straight, rub her sore and tired feet, for all day she carries around this extra weight. 2 and 1. Fellas, we must realize that the real pleasure isn't feeling all over, kissing all over. The real pleasure is when a man begins to shake. In those 8 to 12 seconds of selfish pleasure now sentences her to 9 months of psychological crossroads, emotional pains, bodily aches. 2 and 1. Brothers, we must not only be the role of the father, but the role of the coach and guardian of her temple. We must protect her from harm, not create harm. We must challenge all stress away that tries to tire her womb, not cause stress. We must make sure she eats right, exercises, and gets her rest for the long haul. We must make her outer being peaceful, for her inner being is changed and easy to break like a glass wall. 2 and 1. Men, we must understand that when her water breaks, she is now putting her life on the line to give birth, not you. She is now sacrificing her life so that another life may live, not you. She is now fighting unbearable pains and defeating complications so that you and her may live on through a new life, not you. I tear for the women whose last push was their last breath. 2 and 1. The magazine said, on an average, a man says his woman is beautiful 5 times a month. But ladies who've had babies, you remember when your ankles and feet started to swell, the marks began to stretch, your face started to puff, your nose began to spread, your hair gets longer, and the daily outfits, the stretch pants and t-shirts. If it was God's plan and I was your man, I'd tell you, baby, you look good 5 times a day. And I mean it each time because you're more beautiful than Miss Universe. Hell, you are the universe in and around you. My sun rays, joining with your moonlight, creating and developing a shining star. I've seen a lot of beautiful things in my life. Some desirable, some unforgettable, and some but nothing but fun. But there's nothing more beautiful than a pregnant woman. 2 in 1. Peace. Thank you.
How about that? Yeah, so you already know it's people to people, power to power, positive thinking people.
Yep.
We come to you giving thoughts. We try to let you know it's straight from our heart. We let you know that it's all in the mind. This is not a game. We don't get here to try to make you feel like you're insane. We only tell the truth. We let you see that it's from within that you share all of those words that need to be heard. We say this with the feeling of God that starts to say, be a part of me because I'll be the one to set you free. This is reality here as we sit here with E-Baby in the house telling you that this is what it's all about. We're going to let you know that it's real. Your thoughts can be shared because we really care. That's just a little something from Sir Rod. I'm just messing with you. Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you,
Got it,
man.
bro. Appreciate it.
It was an honor, man, to have you here.
Oh, man, always, baby. VA in the house.
You
VA,
already
2
know
up, 2 down. That's how we do.
That's how we do it. We looking forward to, you coming back and let's making this thing happen. We got a lot going on. This is the People Podcast of the DMV, and so if you had something, just tell people how they can get in touch with you, and again, where you be at.
Again, ebabypoems.com, EBABYPOEMS. All social platforms, the same thing. EBABYPOEMS. Cash App, Venmo, EBABYPOEMS. Whatever you want to do, I'm very easy to find. And as my man Orwell says, I'm Googleable. You can, when you type in E-Baby, I think I'm like number 2 on the list. I was number 1 at one point, but then they started writing books for like E-Baby internet books. So you still got me though, holla at your boy.
Yeah, it's people to people. That's what we do.
The People Podcast of the DMV. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about we and God we trust. Sir Rod and Lady Z. PTP.
Coach Price says beautiful poem.
Thank you. Thank you.